Ashe. So look, I got this new book. This is my fourth book in under 2 years. Make sure you go get the book at southerncoven.com. Yeah, thinner book, but still crazy amount of information in it. So the book is called The Dark Side of Sex. I wrote this book in about a month and a half. Really good book. When you're dealing with sex, we're dealing with polarities. It's a good side of sex. It's a bad side of sex, but we have to deal with both of them. In this book, I wanted to deal with the darker side of sex, the things that happen, the dangerous things. Sex is a school of knowledge. It's our school of knowledge. And inside of the school of knowledge of sex, everything exists. Threesomes, polygamy, BDSM, a little bit of everything exists. So what I want to do is I want to get into the dark sides of sex once again. This is a chapter entitled A Bad Poly Experience. A bad polygamous experience. Now don't come on my video with the bull crap talking about, man, see, because you know what you're talking about. You never had multiple wives. I'm dealing with this from an esoteric perspective. I'm dealing with this from an occult perspective. So I don't expect most of you to get this shit anyway. So for those of you who will receive and who will understand information, let's get busy. Now the chapter is kind of long, so I'm gonna make this part one and part two. This is gonna be part one because the more I start to write, the longer my chapters are starting to get in my book. So for everybody who got, first of all, go get the book, The Male Witch of the South. Go get the book Man, go get the book Woman. Now we got The Dark Sides of Sex. I'm about to release 2 books in a month and a half. So that'd be my 6 books in 2 years. Let's get into the dark sides of sex. A bad poly experience. All polygamous relationships are not bad. Let's deal with that. All polygamous relationships aren't bad. Okay? We got to stop judging people. This system has been around since the beginning of time. It has been around for a long time. There's individuals who practice it in many lifetimes. Who are you to tell them it's wrong? It's the norm for this brother to have multiple wives. This system has been around since the beginning of time. There has always been men who've had multiple wives. See, I want to deal with the bad poly experience, but in order for me to deal with the bad poly experience, I got to go give some credit to the poly experience first, because I don't want you to think I'm just trying to bash people. Who are you to tell a man that he can't have multiple wives? He practiced that in his past life. He practiced that 2 or 3 lifetimes ago when he was a king. He had 10 wives. He had 3 wives. He had 4 wives. In order for us to handle situations, in order for us to deal with things, we got to stop judging people. Leave them alone. Many wives. It's a cultural thing for him. It's all he knows. It's an unbreakable truth. So this brother had multiple wives in different lives. It's a cultural thing to him. You never had multiple wives. As a woman, you probably never had multiple husbands. There are some people who like the group thing. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there are some people who like the group thing, the tribal mindset. Those sisters don't care about sharing a man. You got an issue with it. Leave them alone. Just don't do it. We gonna get into the bad side of the poly experience, but before I see, you look at the book being titled The Dark Sides of Sex and the Bad Poly Experience. See, you jump on the title, but you take things literal. We occultists, those of us who deal with this from a higher level. You can't look at a title and just automatically think that you know what we're gonna talk about, baby, because we got too much scholarship. We're gonna go all over the place. Watch this. It's a cultural thing for him. It's all he knows. It's an unbreakable truth. If a woman is open to sharing her lover with other women, let her be. There's women who have more than one husband, right? It exists today in society. Go do your research on it. Yeah, there's tribes out there right now where women run everything. See, they say that cheating is for poor people. Because the men at the top and the women at the top, no, I think they call it a sport. Man, the millionaires. See, you talking all that trash right now because you ain't got the bag. You talking all that trash right now. Yeah. But when you get the bag, go ask Madonna. Have sex with all the rappers, the basketball players. Yeah, we gonna deal. Go ask Oprah. The women with the money move different. The women with The women with the money, they move different. The women with the money, yeah, they fly men out. I come to tell you that the women with the bag, oh, the movie stars y'all like, the singers that y'all looking into, all the older women, 50 plus, who got the meal tickets, sleeping with all of them. If you don't know, now you know. Let's get back to the book. Women ought to have equality in all things. And see, that's why I tell brothers who want to practice poly. You want to have multiple wives, but ask that sister, can she have a boyfriend on the side? Ask that sister, can she have another husband on the side? See, if we men got the ability, go get the book, The Dark Sides of Sex. Women must have equality in all things. If you got the right to have multiple wives, they got the right to have multiple husbands. And we ain't gonna deal with it from a sexual perspective, because when you had a type of conversation, you always want to come in, no, that's just nasty. And it's nasty with this, it's nasty with that. Leave people alone. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. They still doing it to this day. Equality in all things. I've talked to many women who've had bad experiences in this modern day poly experience. They've been burnt, not physically. The relationships weren't governed like the poly relationships of old. They'll run more like sex cults, somebody type in the comments, sex cults, and they're filled with women who vibrate low, sisters of low frequency. So there must be the truth. There was a time when the poly experience, I guess, I don't know nothing about it. There was a time when it used to work. But the modern day poly thing, they baiting the sisters in. I'm about to deal with that part right now. It's about to get really good. Go get the book. They baiting the sisters in with this new modern day poly thing, right? And when they bait them in, they get burned. Ashe, how do they bait them in? Ashe, how do they get them in? I'm going to tell you right now. Let's go deal with it. Go get this book, The Dark Sides of Sex. Watch this. Those who can't survive in society alone, the sisters who can't make it by themselves, they get baited in. Those who've been compromised at a young age, the sister been through some things when she was young, some sexual trauma, they get baited in. They're preyed upon. They're given hope by a brother who whispers into their ears. He whispers into the ears of weak and frail women. He feeds them a dream of group love, an illusion of sisterhood. Let me say that. You know what? I'm just about to end this video. This shit got good. Let's see how the brother get the sisters to come in. She can't survive alone. She need help. She need financial help. She's been through some sexual trauma. She ain't been in abusive relationships. They get preyed upon. The brother give them. He go to her in her ear and tell her, hey, baby, we can do group love. We can do the group thing. You know, we dealt with that back in the days. You know, it's better to have more people in the house to go deal with that. He whispered into their ears, and watch this. The women that he's already manipulated, they play a very important role into baiting his sister in. They whisper the illusion of sisterhood where? In the newcomer's ears. They go he telling her about this. They going in her ears. They talking about sisterhood. Girl, it's gonna be okay. Girl, you can come in. But this is what she don't realize. They want her energy. All of them feed on her mind. They're gonna feed on her mind. They're gonna feed on her soul. And she's gonna look. She's gonna hear the same thing they did tell every sister who come in, and they're gonna steal her energy. We almost done. Last page. We humans are willing to try just about anything. We can be baited and persuaded easily. Poly is another class in the school of sex. It has many good and bad sides like all the other schools of sex. Man, it's so long. I won't keep going, y'all. But you know what? I'm going to combine these two videos and I'm going to come back and shoot the other two pages tomorrow. This poly thing is so deep. Now, it could be good and it can be bad. It can work for some and it won't work for some. Stop judging people and give people the ability to do what they want and experience what they want. Go get the book at southerncovenant.com. I'm taking pre-orders now. Start shipping the book next week. Shout out to all the people who did the pre-orders already. So yeah, everybody get into this dark sides of sex and start teaching. And I haven't been live in a long time. I just gave up on being online. I'm not big into showing my face no more. But sometimes you got to go in and market yourself. So thank you guys so much. Go get the book, The Dark Sides of Sex. Ashe.